Hello students, I am Ma'am Zenny. Welcome to our online class. I am very happy to meet you all. Let us start our mathematics video tutorial.
Our lesson for today is about properties of operations on integers. Our objectives for this lesson are state and illustrate the different properties of integers. Rewrite given expressions according to the given property. In adding or multiplying integers, you have to consider the different properties of integers. First, closure property of addition. For any integers a and b, a plus b is an integer. This is close to addition since the addends are integers, the sum is also an integer. Let us have an example. 4 plus 5 is equal to 9. Negative 6 plus positive 7 is equal to 1. Negative 6 is an integer, positive 7 is an integer, 1 is an integer. Integer plus integer is equal to integer. So that is closure property of addition. Closure property of multiplication. For any integers a and b, a times b is an integer. This is closed under multiplication. Since the factors are integers, the product is also an integer. Let us have an example. Negative 4 times positive 5 is equal to negative 20. Positive 6 times positive 7 is equal to positive 42. Positive 6 and negative 4 are integers. 5 and positive 7 are integers. And negative 20 and positive 42 are integers. Integer times integer is equal to an integer. So the factors are integers. The product is also an integer. So that is closure property of multiplication. Integers include 0, positive, and negative numbers without any decimal or fraction parts. Commutative property of addition. For any integers a and b, a plus b is equal to b plus a. Changing the order of addends does not affect the sum. Let us have an example. 4 plus 5 is equal to 5 plus 4. 4 plus 5 is equal to 9. 5 plus 4 is equal to 9. 9 is equal to 9. 6 plus 7 is equal to 7 plus 6. 6 plus 7 is equal to 13. 7 plus 6 is equal to positive 13. 13 is equal to 13. So, tingnan nyo, kahit na yung order ng addends magkaiba, dito nauna yung 4, then 5. Dito sa right, 5 plus 4. Yung answer nila is ganun pa rin. So, that is commutative property of addition. Changing the order of addends does not affect the sum. Commutative property of multiplication. For any integers a and b, a times b is equal to b times a. Changing the order of factors does not affect the product. Let us have an example. 4 times 5 is equal to 5 times 4. 4 times 5 is equal to 20. 5 times 4 is equal to 20. 20 is equal to 20. Next, 6 times 7 is equal to 7 times 6. 6 times 7 is equal to 42. 7 times 6 is equal to 42. 42 is equal to 42. Tandaan, pag commutative, it refers to order. So, commutative property of multiplication, changing the order of factors does not affect the product. Kahit na magkaiba yung position or yung ayos or yung order ng factors, yung answer or yung product is the same. Associative property of addition. For any integers a, b, c, the quantity of a plus b plus c is equal to a plus the quantity of b plus c. Changing the grouping of addends does not affect the sum. Paano malalaman kung nakagroup? Ginagamitan ng parentheses or brackets. Let us have this example. The quantity of 4 plus 5 plus 6 is equal to 4 plus the quantity of 5 plus 6. So, sa left side yung nakagroup, 4 plus 5. Sa right side yung nakagroup, 5 plus 6. So, let us solve kung yung sum is the same. So, 4 plus 5 is equal to 9. Bring down 6. 9 plus 6 is equal to 15. Next, sa right side, 5 plus 6 is equal to 11. 4 plus 11 is equal to 15. 9 plus 6 is equal to 4 plus 11. 15 is equal to 15. Next example. The quantity of negative 5 plus 6 plus 7 is equal to negative 5 plus the quantity of 6 plus 7. Negative 5 plus 6 is equal to positive 1 plus 7 is equal to positive 8. Next, sa right side, 6 plus 7 is equal to 13. Negative 5 plus 13 is equal to positive 8. 1 plus 7 is equal to negative 5 plus 13. 8 is equal to 8. So, tandaan, pag associative, it refers to grouping. So, dito yung nakagroup, 4 plus 5 sa left side. Sa right side, 5 plus 6. Pero, yung sum is the same. So, that is associative property of addition. Changing the grouping of addends does not affect the sum. Associative property of multiplication. For any integers a, b, c, the quantity of a times b times c is equal to a times the quantity of b times c. Changing the grouping of factors does not affect the product. Let us have an example. The quantity of 4 times 5 times 6 is equal to 4 times the quantity of 5 times 6. So, let us solve first yung nasa left na nakagroup 4 times 5. 4 times 5 is equal to 20 times 6. 20 times 6 is equal to 120. Next, sa right side, yung nakagroup 5 times 6. 5 times 6 is equal to 30. 4 times 30 is equal to 120. 20 times 6 is equal to 4 times 30. 120 is equal to 120. Next example. The quantity of negative 5 times 6 times 7 is equal to negative 5 times the quantity of 6 times 7. Negative 5 times 6 is equal to negative 30 times 7 is equal to negative 210. Next, sa right side, yung nakagroup, 6 times 7 is equal to 42. Negative 5 times 42 is equal to negative 210. Negative 30 times 7 is equal to negative 5 times 42. Negative 210 is equal to negative 210. So, tandaan, pag associative, kahit na magkaiba yung group sa left side at saka sa right side ng equation, yung answer is the same or yung product is the same. So, that is associative property of multiplication. Changing the grouping of factors does not affect the product. Distributive property of multiplication over addition. For any integer a, b, and c, a times the quantity of b plus c is equal to a times b plus a times c. Adding first before multiplying or distributing the factor to each addend will give the same result. Let us have an example. 4 times the quantity of 5 plus 6 is equal to, pag sinabing distributive or distribute, that is to give out. Okay, 4, didistribute natin sa 5. So, 4 distribute sa 5. That is 4 times 5. Next, 4 distribute sa 6. That is 4 times 6. Then, i-add po since yung operation natin is addition. Next, dito yung nakagroup, 5 plus 6 is equal to 11. So, 4 times 11 is equal to 44. Next, sa right side, 4 times 5 is equal to 20. 4 times 6 is equal to 24. Then add. 20 plus 24 is equal to 44. 4 times 11 is equal to 20 plus 24. 44 is equal to 44. Next example. Negative 5 times the quantity of 6 plus 7 is equal to, distribute negative 5 to positive 6, that is, negative 5 times positive 6. Then negative 5 distribute to positive 7, that is, negative 5 times 7. Then, add. Next, sa left side, 6 plus 7 is equal to 13. Negative 5 times 13 is equal to negative 65. Next, sa right side, negative 5 times 6 is equal to negative 30. Negative 5 times 7 is equal to negative 35. Then add. Negative 30 plus negative 35 is equal to negative 65. Negative 5 times 13 is equal to negative 30 plus negative 35. Negative 65 is equal to negative 65. So, tingnan nyo po, etong nasa left side. Adding first, kahit na i-add nyo po muna etong nakagroup, then i-multiply sa negative 5, yung answer is negative 65. Or, distribute muna to each factor, then add. So, yung answer is negative 65. So, that is distributive property of multiplication over addition. Adding first before multiplying or distributing the factor to each addend will give the same result. Identity property of addition. For any integers a plus 0 is equal to a. The sum of any number and 0 will always be equal to the number itself. The identity element of addition is 0. Let us have an example. Positive 4 plus 0 is equal to positive 4. 0 plus 7 is equal to 7. Negative 5 plus 0 is equal to negative 5. So, tingnan niyo po, sa identity property of addition, any number and 0 will always be equal to the number itself. So, kahit na anong number, pag nag-add tayo ng 0, yung answer is the number itself. So, the identity element of addition is 0. Identity property of multiplication. For any integers a times 1 is equal to a. The product of any number and 1 will always be equal to the number itself. The identity element of multiplication is 1. Let us have an example. 6 times 1 is equal to 6. Negative 5 times 1 is equal to negative 5. Negative 7 times 1 is equal to negative 7. So that is identity property of multiplication. The product of any number and 1 will always be equal to the number itself. The identity element of multiplication is 1. Additive inverse property. For any integer a plus negative a is equal to 0. The opposite of the given integer is called its additive inverse. The sum of a number and its additive inverse is 0. Let us have an example. Negative 6 plus positive 6 is equal to 0. Positive 5 plus negative 5 is equal to 0. Negative 4 plus positive 4 is equal to 0. Tingnan nyo yung sign ng negative ng 6 is negative. Then yung opposite niya, positive 6. Negative 6 plus positive 6 is equal to 0. Yung opposite is called its additive inverse. So, ganun din dito. Positive plus yung opposite niya, negative. Positive 5 plus negative 5 is equal to 0. So, that is additive inverse property. The opposite of the given integer is called its additive inverse. The sum of a number and its additive inverse is 0. Multiplicative inverse property. For any integer a times 1 over a is equal to 1. The reciprocal of the given integer is called its multiplicative inverse. The product of a number and its multiplicative inverse is 1. Let us have an example. 3 times 1/3 is equal to 1. 3 times 1 is equal to 3. Divided by 3 is equal to 1. Negative 5 times negative 1/5 is equal to 1. Negative 5 times 1 is equal to negative 5. Divided by negative 5 is equal to 1. So, pag sinabing reciprocal, to change to the opposite position. So, tandaan, the denominator of any integer is 1. So, yung denominator ng 3 is 1. Then, reciprocal niya. I-change natin to the opposite position. Yung numerator naging denominator. Yung denominator naging numerator. Kaya yung reciprocal or yung multiplicative inverse ng 3 is 1/3. Ganon din dito sa kabila. Yung denominator ng negative 5 is 1. Then, reciprocal niya or yung multiplicative inverse is negative 1/5. Negative 5 na numerator naging denominator. Then, yung positive 1 na denominator naging numerator. So, yung reciprocal or multiplicative inverse ng negative 5 is negative 1/5. So that is multiplicative inverse property. The product of a number and its multiplicative inverse is 1. Zero property of multiplication. For any integer a times 0 is equal to 0. Any number multiplied by 0, the answer is 0. 4 times 0 is equal to 0. Negative 5 times 0 is equal to 0. Negative 6 times 0 is equal to 0. So, any number multiplied by 0, the answer is 0. That is zero property of multiplication. Let's have a recap. Properties of operations on integers are closure property of addition, closure property of multiplication, commutative property of addition, commutative property of multiplication, associative property of addition, associative property of multiplication. Dapat po maging specific tayo sa paglalagay ng operation under addition or multiplication. Next, distributive property of multiplication over addition. Identity property of addition. Identity property of multiplication. Additive inverse property. Multiplicative inverse property. And zero property of multiplication. Let us try this. Math check for understanding. Identify the property that justifies each statement. Number 1. 7 plus negative 3 is equal to negative 3 plus 7. What property is that? That is commutative property of addition. Number 2. The quantity of 6 plus 2 plus 5 is equal to 6 plus the quantity of 2 plus 5. That is associative property of addition. Number 3, 11 times 0 is equal to 0. That is zero property of multiplication. Number 4, negative 9 times positive 5 is equal to positive 5 times negative 9. That is commutative property of multiplication. Number 5, negative 12 times 1 is equal to negative 12. That is identity property of multiplication. Number 6, positive 5 plus negative 5 is equal to 0. That is additive inverse property. Number 7, the quantity of 4 times 8 times 3 is equal to 4 times the quantity of 8 times 3. That is associative property of multiplication. Number 8, 4 times 1/4 is equal to 1. That is multiplicative inverse property. Number 9, negative 4 plus positive 6 is equal to positive 2. That is closure property of addition. Number 10, 2 times the quantity of 3 plus 9 is equal to 2 times 3 plus 2 times 9. That is distributive property of multiplication over addition. Rewrite the given expression using the indicated property. Number 1, negative 4 plus 5. Gagawing commutative property of addition. That is 5 plus negative 4. Negative 4 plus positive 5 is equal to positive 5 plus negative 4. Number 2, 9 times the quantity of 4 plus 6. Gagawing distributive property of multiplication over addition. So, distribute 9 sa 4, 9 sa 6. So, 9 times 4 plus 9 times 6. Next, number 3, 13 times 3 is equal to, gagawing commutative property of multiplication. That is 3 times 13. 13 times 3 is equal to 3 times 13. Number 4, the quantity of 2 times 5 times 7. Gagawing associative property of multiplication. That is 5 times the quantity of 7 times 2. So, dito yung nakagroup 2 times 5. Sa right side, yung nakagroup 7 times 2. So, the quantity of 2 times 5 times 7 is equal to 5 times the quantity of 7 times 2. Number 5. The quantity of negative 8 plus 2 plus 1. Gagawing associative property of addition. That is 2 plus negative 8 plus 1. So, dito yung nakagroup negative 8 plus 2. Sa right side, yung nakagroup, negative 8 plus 1. So, the quantity of negative 8 plus 2 plus 1 is equal to 2 plus the quantity of negative 8 plus 1.
That's all for today. Once again, this is Mom Zenny saying mathematics is not about numbers, equations, computations, or algorithms. It is about understanding. This quote is from William Paul Thurston. Please don't forget to like and subscribe para updated ka sa lessons and video tutorials natin. You can also share this video tutorial with your friends. See you in our next lesson. Bye!